Hi friends, this is Pastor Lucas Pin and this is our snack for the journey, and this week we're walking through or flying by the book of Joshua. Book of Joshua has many lessons for us, beautiful stories there. So if you have time, I know that now during this day nowadays you we have time, right? You have time. Read the book of Joshua. It's a great book. God chose Joshua to conquer the land, the promised land, and to divide the land to the tribes. So Joshua is doing this job. And so he's in the beginning of the work. And the first challenge that they have to face is Jericho. We saw a verse about that yesterday. That is the biggest challenge. Right at the beginning, you have Jericho. Massive walls and protection and army and all that kind of thing. So what Joshua does, he sends spies inside. He went there, check it out outside, and said, we need to check inside. So he sent 2 spies inside the city. So they went inside the city and they tried to figure out, and people start kind of looking at them and say, I don't know, those guys are not from here. They knew that the Israelites are there, and it was a huge camp. You imagine the calculation for the specialists and making the calculation, the number of people in the Bible was almost 2 million people or a little bit more than that. It was a lot of people, and people from Jericho, you hear, you know, they're there. So they saw those guys and say, and they hide in a house of a prostitute. That's the best place that they could find. Of course, go to the prostitute, pay something, and everything is good. But they have to hide, and the king find out that they were there. The prostitute lies, and said, no, they are not here. But they escape and all, and the prostitute asked them, said, look, her name is Rahab. So look, when you guys come and we know that you guys are coming, I want you guys to save me, to protect me. The guy said, look, you put a red scarf or fabric on the window when we come, and if whoever is inside your house will be saved. And this is the text that I'd like to share with you, Joshua 6:25. Because they conquered, they went there, destroyed the city, which is another story to read. If you, when you read Joshua, you're going to see that story of Jericho being destroyed. So they destroyed Jericho, and then says, chapter 6, verse 25 says, but Joshua spared Rahab, the prostitute, with her family and all who belonged to her, because she hid the men Joshua had sent as spies to Jericho, and she lives among the Israelites to this day. Wow. She was a prostitute. She served the Lord. She hid those guys, and she was spared. And we think that, okay, that's the story. Yeah, this is it. That is the prostitute that hid those guys, the spies in Jericho, Rahab, her name, and all that. And you think that this is it. It is not. If you go to genealogies of Jesus, you're going to find Rahab there in Jesus' genealogy. She is right there. Her name is there. So she is in the line of Jesus. And it's an amazing story, because who was Rahab? Nobody. She was a prostitute that lived in a corner of Jericho, a city that was about to be totally destroyed. But God is writing things that kind of He picks people that do not deserve, they're not good enough, they're not strong enough, they're not even morally good to do his work, to help his people. Not only that, to be part in the lineage of Jesus himself. Can you imagine that? So when you look at your life and say, well, I'm not good enough, I'm not strong enough, I'm not even holy enough or morally good, and I have so many problems in life and all that kind of thing, and you know what? God can still use you. That is the beauty of mercy and grace coming together to use our lives when we do not deserve, we're not good enough. God still can use you to be part of something big. And she was part of something big. Jericho was big, but she was part of something bigger. She was part of the lineage of Jesus himself. That is great. This is a great story. It's a great story. And this is our snack for the journey. God bless you.